Hey Zackie, and welcome back channel, and welcome back to another Tower Fantasy video. This time we're talking about Tian Lang, and actually going through the test server. There's actually a few things that has changed in him, but the rest are basically balancing. But the major change is that in the CN version he actually has a shatter rate of 8 while his charge rate is 12.5, and in the global test server might subject to change back, but definitely won't based on my view, because they want a Thunderbreaker or a Shatter for global, right? So his shatter rate is going to be 12.5, while his charge rate in the global is going to be 8.0, right? So this is actually good because global does not have bio key, and now we don't have to wait for fan rate. But the second question is that what are they going to do with fan rate? That is for another day until the next test server. So yeah, it's actually a good thing for global, and more reasons to pull for him if you want a Shatter Volt in your team. Another major change is that in the CM version, he actually has something called the Volt Reaction, but in the global version, they decided to go with the Volt Resonance, but mainly because, don't worry about it, they both give the same percentage. I just think that it's unnecessary, so they just don't think they have to add it, right? It's just the same percentage, so why add it or something? But it has something to do with link kit, but this is not affected to global, so you don't have to worry about it. But now that we cover everything, we're gonna talk about his combat kit, or basically his passive buff first. So his normal attack passive is very special. When building Thunderbreaker, every 4 normal attack will charge the weapon, stacking up to 5 charge points, right? So every time you hit with Tian Lang, basic attack right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? You get this little charging right here, and if you hit 8 times, you get 2, and it can charge up to 5 times. So what does this do? Why do you need to charge it up? So after charging, any Electromancy dodge skill triggers, meaning that any Volt weapon dash attack will trigger a electrocution with lightning. So if I do a dash attack, it doesn't have to be Tian Lang, right? I can swap to Fenrir and do it, I can swap to Crow and do it, and it's gonna be there. So if I do a dash attack, you see that little thunder strike right there, right? So that's the electrocution, and it deals a total of 3% of HP loss, but no lower than 100% of volt attack and no higher than 1000% of volt attack, and trigger electrify entity which deals area volt damage equals to 2% of HP loss, no lower than 40% of volt attack and no higher than 400% of volt attack. You don't have to care about all this. Basically, the less HP you have, the more damage it will do. I'm going to show you a trick over here. If you have Link, you want to be doing this attack, right? It's very important. I'm going to show you how to stack up the 5 charge a lot more faster with a super cool and fun ways of playing in the rotation. So you definitely want to summon this Moonlight Realm, right? You get that dash attack and stuff like that buff. Then you do this, right? And then you do this. Until Tian Lang charge up, until Thunderbreaker charge up, I want you to swap to Thunderbreaker, right? The moment it charge up, it's going to charge up all the way to 5. And they're gonna release these to lose more HP, and they're gonna do dash attack so that you can do more damage, right? And then also a 50% chance of not consuming dash attack because of Ling, right? So that's gonna be a lot of damage, gonna be maximizing your damage right there. So what happened is that basically you can gain the charge with any normal attack, right? Any normal attack will do, so long as you're using Tian Lang, right? I mean, this breakdance will also charge it, his basic attack will also charge it, his aerial attack will also charge it, right? So when you use Ling, her charge attack is also a normal attack, got converted when you swap to Tian Lang as a Thunderbreaker normal attack, right? That's actually very fun way, and we discovered this back when a few months ago. It was actually very cool. We're like, oh, we gotta talk about this in global. So if you want to play this, well, go ahead and do it, right? Tian Lang has another passive with his Thunderbreaker, so if this Thunderbreaker is in your team, unleashing any Volt weapon skill or Discharge skill consume 30% of your current HP to deal additional Volt damage equal to 45% of the consumed HP. No less than 40% of Volt attack, no more than 3000 Volt attack, and gain temporary invincibility, and this is not available in Apex League. So it doesn't matter if you use like Tian Lang or you use like Fenrir Discharge skill, right? You're gonna consume your own HP at 30%. Look at me, I'm losing HP, right? I'm losing HP, right? So after 8 seconds, right? So what happens after 8 seconds? 8 seconds later, or HP is lower than 10%, recover 5% of missing HP every second for 8 seconds, not affected by any healing effect. The recovery effect is not stackable. So after 8 seconds, you're gonna be regaining your health and stuff like that. So after 8 seconds, you're gonna be regaining 5% of HP for 8 seconds, right? So yeah, he also heals himself, but it's like he's bringing his own health down, and after 8 seconds he's gonna regain it. So it's like his he get tired and then he just recover his stamina. Some kind of fighting way like that. Now his basic attack is very straightforward, right? It's just a combat attack. I don't recommend doing this, but I do not understand what does this field do. Not even the CN wiki it actually states. So if anyone knows, please tell me what does this field do. His aerial attack is actually still okay. I don't really recommend it because it has a very small AOE, like a small range. But his basic charge attack, which is the pet there, or rather his breakdowns move, is actually what I recommend, right? While on the ground, tap and hold normal attack to trigger deal damage up to 342% of attack plus 105 to the target and gather enemy around you. So if you do this, all the enemies are gonna come close. But the downside is that his AOE is actually very small compared to a character like Alice or a character like Saki. Saki pull with the tank resonance. So it's actually okay. It's actually okay, and I don't really recommend it because he does not have hyper body unless he is at A3. So the next one is Merak, which is his dive attack. It's very straightforward, right? So it's basically a jetpack crow drill, and then he's gonna do some sort of hit rate. Each hit rate is gonna do 38%, and then the final damage is gonna do 285% when he lands, right? So you can actually do this with jetpack Tian Lang, but I don't really recommend it, right? It's okay if you want to do it. It's actually very good too. Very easy to chase after enemy, but I still prefer the breakdowns. Last but not least, his dash attack, Aliov. Tap normal during the short period after dodging dash attack to target, dealing damage equal to 172.6% of attack. Right? This is it. It's okay, I guess. It's okay. Once Fenrir comes out, in case you haven't watched, Fenrir has a dash attack debuff, which is very cool, but you don't have to watch it, but I'm just saying, right? So his skill is called Dabe. Unleash a barrage of attack, dealing damage equal to 936.9% of attack, plus 286 to enemies within range, and transform enemies and your summon within a certain range into electrified entities. Up to 3 electrified entities can exist at a time. Cooldown of 30 seconds, right? So this is the electrified entities when I use the skill, right? This is the electrified entities right there. You saw that on the floor, right? So after that, you gain Volt Sense when Dube is used, when the skill is used. Scan the other 2 equipped weapon when unleashing skill. Each additional Volt weapon sensed by its increased Volt attack by 6% for 25 seconds. Now, what does the electrified entity do? When unleashing any Volt weapon skill or discharge, electrified entities unleash a Volt area damage equal to 5%. So if I use the skill and the skill hits him, it's gonna shock him, just like how the dash attack works, right? You see that? You see that shock right there? And then we also got Fenrir Discharge, right? If I use Fenrir Discharge, you see that shock right there? Yeah, that is what electrified entity does. So I think the next thing to talk about is his discharge. It's called the Obliterator. When weapon charge is full or Fantasia is triggered, switching to this weapon from another weapon, remove all debuff from the wielder. Thunderbreaker unleashes wide range Volt damage, dealing damage equal to 844.6% attack and 258, and transform enemies and your summon with a certain range into electrified entities up to 3 times. So it also triggers electrified entities, pretty much same thing. But I think this is going to be his Shatter. It looks too cool not to be a Shatter, right? This is so sick, right? So Tianlang Kid basically tells me that the more HP he lost, the more damage he does, and then eventually he's gonna heal himself, but not that well. So you can also use Fenrir or Nemesis in your team if you want to. So let's talk about his awakening, or rather his advancement. That's what they call in global. So at 1 star, gain 1 stack of superconductor or per charge, increasing max HP by 7.5%, but increased damage received by 2%, except when the current HP is lower than 50%. Okay, you don't have to read that. Stacking up to 8 times. Lose 1 stack if no superconductor get refreshes within 6 seconds. So this each buff is gonna have like 6 seconds to reset, and you can stack up to 8 times, right? So what happens is that he's gonna increase his maximum HP while also losing HP, allowing him to deal even more damage. So if you want damage, yeah, you want to get A1 for extra damage. But if you're fine with 0, that's actually fine. If you want to use him as Shatter, that's actually fine. You want to skydive with his discharge, that's really fine. More damage is definitely A1. You're gonna see this little thing that's charged up, right? Not this one, but rather this one, right? It's actually at 6th round. Alright. And then at 8, right? Its maximum is at 8. Wait, can I not charge it? Oh, there we go. We charge it all the way up to 8 now. So in A2 actually increased the current weapon base attack growth by 16%, but what is really recommended if you really want to use him as a main DPS, this is what I think is very cool, right? Release any weapon skill or discharge skill to get 2 charges, gain hyper body at 8 superconductor stacks. So just now we're talking about A1. If you get A1 stacked up to 8 times, you are gonna get hyper body, right? Right. So you can also gain it with other weapons, right? So now that we got 8, while Tianlang is also running the breakdown, you will get hyper body. While I'm also using Fenrir weapon, right? Okay, we lost the hyper body when we lose to 7 stack. So let's see if we can gain that again. Alright, we gained that back, right? So we got our hyper body back. So just keep attacking, right? Just keep attacking and you'll still have your hyper body. So it's really recommended to have A3 because hyper body is just the best thing to have in this game. So at A4, increase the current weapon base HP growth by 32%, and A5, so each superconductor stack increases final damage, so more damage by 1%, and A6, boost the skill, which is this one, right? Volt sense for every one other volt weapon in sense, gain 10%, so basically more damage for 25 seconds. So yeah, recommended is definitely A3, but if you want extra damage even as a F2P or small spender, at least A1, but I still prefer A3s because hyper body is really just that good. So his simulacra is called Tianlang Thunderclap. Each release of Volt weapon skill or discharge skill gain 1 free dodge. So if you don't have Link, you don't have to worry about it, or you don't even have to gamble about the 50-50 while in the Volt Moonlight realm. Up to 3 attempts, when Volt weapon skill and discharge skills are released simultaneously, increase Volt damage by 18% for 8 seconds. This effect cannot be stacked, so if you think you're confident with Samir, go with Samir, but I still think Tianlang is good because Samir gonna get attack and stuff like that. So yeah, Tianlang 1 is actually wonderful, but Samir has like extra 2%, so it's up to you, but I prefer Tianlang. So considering that Tianlang is a Shatter, you know the drill. You can slap Shiro, you can slap King, or you can slap the future matrices from the new world boss if you're planning on grinding for the Shatter rate. Or if you want for damage purposes, you can also slap that, right? So there's 2 ways to play him now. Now that in global, he will Shatter. So you can either put Shatter on him, or if you want damage, you can also put damage. But if Fenrir comes out and Fenrir is going to be your main DPS, then you can throw all the Shatter to Tianlang and put all the DPS on Fenrir, right? Now his own matrices I'm not going to talk about so much. It's basically boost bulk damage, so you can go ahead and get it if you want, but we're small spenders or F2P are trying to be resourceful and beating the game without spending a big money while still praying for gacha RNG god, right? RNG says, right? Now this is my recommended team comp. If you want pure damage and at least A3 to have the hyper armor, please, hyper body is very useful. Otherwise, this is the team that I'm using, Saki for the skill reset. So this is good for survivability. This is good for future OP damage, right? OP damage because they all just provide damage. You can use Alice as well. If you want to slap Nemesis, you can slap Nemesis as well, right? Nemesis is going to do more damage, wound damage as well, but Ling is also nice. Ling will do more damage than Nemesis, but Nemesis will heal and make sure that you're safe. But if you have like tank and stuff like that, I think just slap Nemesis, just slap Ling for the damage over time. I hope this video doesn't take up too long. I really don't want to make another 20 minutes videos about a character. So Tianlang is actually not must have, but it's very nice to have. You want like major boost in damage, you can go ahead and get him if you're fine with your Samir or Crow. But don't ask me if A6 Crow or A6 Samir is gonna out damage Tianlang. Definitely not. He is a kamikaze, and even at A0 or even A1, he already surpassed them, right? So again, thank you all so much for watching. I will be making a Lara video, also a Mirora video, and this is a great thing about Tower Fantasy community, right? There's so many content creators out there, and I myself, I've been working very busy December. I can't cover everything, so it's actually very nice to see like content creators like Koro covering the upcoming updates, Gaetio covering the major updates, and we also have like Kyrios, right? So I'm just doing my best. I just want to be around the community and still have fun. Trust me, I wanted to stream more, but my work has been like very tight for me, and I hope I can make a Lara video in time because Lara is very hard to understand. So again, thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you want to help me grow my channel, and hey, it's just a gaming channel.